Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of OBS Studio live tutorials. And today we're going to have a look at how we install overlays. Now there's overlays which are free online. There are overlays which you can buy, and there are overlays you can make yourself online. And there's also the option of making overlays offline on your own, and a mixture of the two. Have some stuff online and some stuff of the overlay offline, mix them all together and do that. So we're going to break this down in different episodes throughout this tutorial. So today we're going to look at how we install an overlay and a little bit of online editing, so you get the basics down. Now, as you know, we're using Stream Elements, so I've already logged into my account here in Stream Elements. And what we're going to do is we're going to go here on the left on the streaming tools and click Overlay Gallery. They have over here themed overlays, which have a lot of variety. As you can see, we can scroll down, there's a lot. You will see that some of them, like this one, is animated, so it has some moving parts, and this one is a super theme, it has alerts and this and that in there. And also the ones that don't say animated, it's more like photographs around. So if you want to see one of these, this is a lot, there's a long list, and this list gets updated fairly often, to be honest. So it doesn't hurt, but don't change your overlays, every week. Don't drive people crazy, but if you feel it's not good enough or you want to change something, of course you can. So you just click to preview one of these. So you can click here on the little photographs and see how things look like. This seems to be for the Horde for World of Warcraft, so it doesn't matter. We'll just pick this one, it looks good. So just click then, create my overlay. These links, you're going to need those to import those into OBS, but that comes a little bit later. So go to my overlays, and now you have your overlays. You have your talking one, you have your starting soon, you'll be right back, your end, and this is your gaming one. So what I'm going to do is to show you a little bit of the editing. I think we should go and play a little bit with the starting one. So you just click edit, it will load up, and here we are. Now here on the left, you see all the things that exist on this side. So let's say we like this and we need to fix this. For example, as you see down here, the clock is really not in the right spot. So you can grab it, click and drag, the basic. Now, if you can't get the right spot, like I'm having difficulty now, simply leave it selected and just use the arrows on the keyboard. Either, you can keep pressing 1, 2 or permanently pressed, and you just get it exactly where you want. Once you do have it where you want, just to make sure that you don't move it accidentally, just go on the left and lock it. Now it can be selected or moved. So that's one thing. Second thing, on the top here, we see that we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook and YouTube, but they all say /YouTube. These things need to be changed in order to have your own. So if you just go here on the left where it says /YouTube and you click it, you go to settings, and then you're going to change that. You just delete it. In my case, it's fixed to TV, and that's it. And now here it says /fixed TV. The same thing. If we go to Twitter and then settings at fixed TV, and it changes on the top. You can do that with the rest of them. This one, let's see, if you click something that's flashing, this one is the alert box. Okay, so that's going to play alerts. This comes with alerts. We'll do a different session on how you edit alerts. So let's say we want to see a subscriber event. It's going to come up there. It covers a little bit those. We don't like it. Let's move it here. We are happy. Let's lock it so we don't move it again. And in this manner, you can change everything. Everything here is that you can even change the icons. So like Twitter icon, for example, here, Twitter is up here. I'll try and grab this. There we go. There's the icon. So you can easily click and drag it and make it bigger if you want, or smaller, so you can fit there the way they had it. Now there's another way of changing that. If you select it on the left, go to settings, and then you can go to position and size. You can simply do this by changing the numbers, and I think that will be a 25 by 25, and you have already selected it. when they get small is a bit tricky, but once you click them, then you can simply move them with the arrows. Now that's a big thing. That's a thing you need to be careful with, that if something is not locked, the way they are placed on the bar here is one on top of the other. So the cooldown is on top of the bigger bar into top of the alert box. So if you're trying to grab the alert box, you won't be able to do it here because they overlap on top. If you do lock them, you grab the one underneath and so on and so forth. If you need to move something and you can't select it here, all right, for whatever reason doesn't work, you click here, it doesn't work, all you got to do is grab it and just drag it to the top. So that will become the top layer, and then you can grab it and do whatever you want with it. Now this is the basic things you can change in the overlay. You can take it even further if you want. For example, the background, as you can see, is locked. You can hide something. So it's transparent. So now you can see it's there, but when you introduce it into your stream, that background won't be there. And then you can add something else if you want. There's a lot of options here, from text, images, videos, merchandise. It's an incorporated thing from Stream Elements. Labels, these already exist for you on this overlay. So we just move this on the bottom. You have the latest tipper, the latest cheer. This is the name of your stream, your latest subscription and follow. All there set up here. If you want to add additional, you just have to play a little bit with this here. It's not that difficult. Just pick subscriber, latest, and then it gives you the option latest subscriber, latest new, recent one, top gifters. There's a lot of options here, and it will get a little text file like this, and then you just move it around as we did with everything else. Now on the editing part, we already hidden the background here, so we can bring it back again, or we can just simply delete it if we want. You just select, press delete, it goes away. But let's say you want to add a different background. So I don't know, let's try a video background since we have animated. It will bring this menu up, change video, it will bring you to videos. I have already uploaded some backgrounds here, the ones that I currently use. So this is a little video. Now you can try and click and drag. But I'll tell you one thing about clicking and dragging. In this case, as you can see, it works. There is also an option that you may drag it and it won't expand the way you want it. If that does happen, you just go to position style and you just do the right dimensions here. In this case, I did it a little bit too big because these are dimensions of this overlay. But now that I've put the video on, all you can see is the video. And that is because the video is on top. So if you keep dragging it, you see how things starting to appear? The more we go down, the more stuff starting to appear. I'm doing this to show you that, the order does matter. So you have to drag this all the way to the bottom where the other background was. And now it's the last one. Now, if you open the previous background, hold on, it's one more down. There we go. So if we do open the previous, you can see it. If you hide it, it comes on the top. So now, if you do this in advance, you can change your background if you need to in a moment. And let's try and keep the video. And there you go. You have the whole overlay with a different background, with a new video, fitting your style. Mine is the gears, yours could be something else. And you can edit and change anything you want. Everything is broken down here on the left. You just move and do this and that. Now, before we end this video, there's two more things I need to tell you. Number one, this editor here is very limited. So if you can make images, videos in advance with all the graphics, animations you want, colors, graders, shading, and all that, is definitely the best thing to do. Definitely the best thing to do. I will show you how limited this is with the simplest thing, which is text. So if we go and add a text, all right, so you get that, you can make it bigger as a window. So let's say, we'll capture you be clear. What it says doesn't matter. Stream starting. Now compare this stream starting with that. It's a lot better. Let's see if we can make this a little bit better. So if we go to the settings here for the text, we can make it bigger. Okay. So we're making it a lot bigger. You can simply type if you want. Okay, so you need to make this window bigger. And now if you want to do a second line, okay, if you want to do a second line on this one, you simply go here and you press enter. This works like a text editor, so anything you do here, lines, paragraph, whatever, it will show up like that. Let's say we want just this. It's still a little bit plain, isn't it? What can we add here? I mean, the system has a lot of widgets, so we can make it bold, we can make it sideways, italics, we can underline it. Definitely you can play with the fonts. It has a variety of fonts, and you can add your own. Okay, let's say we're going to keep that. White, we don't like it. Let's try red. Okay, we got red. Then you have the advanced settings. You can move the margins up and down, which is not really that important because you simply can drag this if you want. You can play with a stroke. Let's say we put a white stroke there and a little bit less, I suppose. Keep going down. So now it's starting to look a little bit better, but it still doesn't have any 3D options. It doesn't have any shading, any grading. The other thing you could possibly do, if you go to text, you can go to text scrolling, activate that, and you can have it moving like this. This is very good if you want to do have a scrolling text on the bottom of your screen or the top of your screen and give information to people. Have a little line running down there with your Twitter, your YouTube, any news, any new videos you did. You can regulate the speed, the direction, left, right, up, and down. So you can play a bit, but that is the extent of it. That's how far you can go with this. A little bit the color, the strike around it, and that's it. So we're going to leave this overlay like this as we modified it. Remember, you can always add anything you want. From labels, engagement, you have cooldowns, countdowns, giveaways, media requests, although with DMCA, not really a good option. And there's the thing on the alert here, Kappa Gen, which makes your emotes fly. It's a nice option to give to your subscribers. You can choose just to give it to subscribers on the options. Actually, we can add one. So you can have subscribers only. The Kappa Gen is, I think is this one. So I'll try and do it. Has a little test somewhere. You can also have explosion emotes. So if somebody subscribes, you can have like 500 of them going out there. It can be a little bit overwhelming, so be careful when you use this. I used to use this, but after a while, it's just people sometimes like to spam emotes, and then your whole stream ends up having emotes, and other people that just there to watch you and your stream that just watch emotes all the time. People can be annoying, can be tricky. So although you can find 100 of nice features to add to your stream, flying emotes, welcoming sound, commands that bring up things and this and that, Twitter alerts, you can bring Discord messages on, you can have Twitch redemption alerts coming up. We'll see all this on a different session, but just don't overdo it because people will abuse the freedom you give them and they're going to spam everything if they are bored. And trust me, if you're new to streaming, you will get people who are just going to be there to troll and spam and annoy you and get a rise out of you. So do nice stuff, but try and control them. It's important. So after this little parenthesis there, we've done the overlay. We found one online, fast, easy. We got it here. We did some editing that we wanted to do. Now we have to move this to our streaming software. And let's say this was meant to be an introduction. So it's blank. We have nothing. I've seen on sources before. All we got to do to add that is simply copy the link from up here, copy overlay URL, go to our OBS Studio, add a browser source. Let's say introduction overlay. There we go. Okay. Then we select this and paste the URL. When you do your overlay, depending what dimensions you're going to use, you have to put the right dimensions to fill the screen. In my case, it's 9020 by 1080. Don't worry about custom frame rate and control it by OBS. I wouldn't recommend that. Shutdown when it's not visible for freeing resources, and refresh when you change scene. So what this will do, the refresh, is like when you start your introduction, you have the timer. So it starts at 10 minutes and starts going down. If you go to another overlay, the gaming one, and then you go let's say 10 seconds later, back to the introduction, your clock will not continue for 5 minutes. It will start from 10. It's been refreshed. So, for example, the chat is not good to have it refreshed if you want to change scenes and keep the chat so people that log in or just joining your stream, they can see that. And we do that. And here's our overlay. We lock it, so make sure you don't move it. And your overlay is there. Now, you wonder that this doesn't look like this, right? There's a big difference there. Yeah, because what we didn't do is click save. We made the changes, now we saved it, and now it just loaded up. So every time you change something, you need to save it. And now we have this. Now, because this is a preview here, and we're not live, a lot of times, and this is what I said, the editor is limited. As you can see, our streaming starts soon here is scrolling. Here it is not. All right, and that has to do with a lot of things. So you can simply manually refresh the page because you just saved it. It may start, it may not. This will work when you go live. It takes a while to kick in with the connection sometimes, but this is why I don't like using that editor to do things like that. Okay, and now you have your overlays. You can do exactly the same thing, and we'll do one more to show you. Just go back, we saved it. The easiest one to do will be the be right back one, or the ending scene. It doesn't matter. Let's get for the be right back. Instead of going, if you don't want to change anything, you're very happy with this, you simply go here, copy URL, then you go back to your OBS software. We go to the be right back screen, click add browser, be right back overlay. Okay, we paste here the code we just did, putting the right dimensions again, shut down, refresh, okay. And here is our be right back, and we're done. You don't really have to do anything else. If you get a ready-made overlay, it's there. It has the alerts, the graphics, the animation, and this and that. The only thing you have to do is just change up here, Facebook, Instagram, this. You have to change this on every overlay that has this. The bottom, which has subscribers, and this comes automatically from Stream Elements, and you don't have to change anything here. You simply have to change the Facebook because it doesn't know your Facebook, but it does know Stream Elements, which one is your latest subscriber. And that, guys, we're going to call this session here. This is how you find them and you install them. Now, on the next video, we're going to look how we can alter or change some of these overlays using the OBS Studio itself and what that means in relation for not doing it online. So I'll see you on the next one.